Ben's got a soda in his hand. That means it must be showtime. Ben, what's up? Galaxy Fight Club, MetaMentors number 23. This one, another kind of a surprise project that we really didn't, or at least me, I didn't know anything about. We're going to jump into it. There's a lot of things I like about this project. And before we do, we're going to put some timestamps down below. So if you don't have the full amount of time to spend with us, check out the timestamps. Please leave us a comment, subscribe if you like any of this stuff that we're doing. We're trying to get better each episode, but mainly we're doing our own research and just bringing it to people like us that know there's something going on here with Web3, Metaverse, crypto, blockchains, all that good stuff. And that's what this show is all about. So we'll leave some timestamps, but let's watch this trailer and then we'll get into the news. I love that last part. I don't know why, but that cracks me up. It's action-packed, and then all of a sudden you've got the T-Rex that's wearing a Band-Aid and injured.
That's why they put that in there.
Website for custom game mode.
Say that again.
I said that's why they put that kind of stuff in there for the old people who think that kind of stuff is funny.
They got me again. They're pretty good at this.
Anything you see on this channel is for informational and educational purposes only. Do your own research before you make any investments. Talk with your own financial team. We are not experts. We are just telling you what we're doing, but our situation is different than your situation.
Galaxy Fight Club, their claim to fame, Ben, is they want to be the Nintendo of Web3, and they're starting, or they're rolling it out with this game that they're considering it. Basically, they're comparing it to a Smash Brothers style game. They're not saying that they are the Nintendo or that this is a Smash Brothers, but there's some likeness to it. And that's kind of the comparison they made, which is one of the things I like about this project. We'll get more into that. But they're combining, they're doing a cross IP project for player versus player, which in one word is interoperability, which is huge within Web3. That's the stuff that keeps coming up. That's where the money's going to be. These guys have found a simplistic way to do it, similar to Smash Brothers, and I love what they're doing with this project. But before we get into it, I'm looking forward to hearing the news. There's been a ton going on with this dip. So I'll just pass it over to you.
As you can see, today is another good day in the crypto market. All red, except for a few. But red means good time to buy. We're still going down. Actually, you can see over here on the hump that actually, what was it? Probably less than a week ago, we had a really good return on a lot of the crypto. Everything had kind of leveled out and went back up. We've since taken the dip back down. Bad if you were planning on selling anytime soon. Good if you were planning on loading up on some more projects, which today's the last day of the month. Tomorrow's payday for a lot of people. It's a Friday and a payday. So probably a good time to look at some of the projects that you like and maybe increase the quantity of which you own.
There's some other stuff going on in the market too that is, they're saying this may be, we may see some massive opportunities here real quick. Like,
yeah, I always like dips, but I have heard that we might be in for a painful dip. So like I said, I'm buying tomorrow because tomorrow's the first. but you guys buy when it's best for you. And we might be getting a big dip, so you might be getting an even bigger sale if you wait till the first of next week. But we'll skip that part. Some of the news we got going on this week. Solana is releasing its own crypto phone. Now, anybody familiar with Web 2 projects, just about everybody's tried releasing their own phone. Facebook did it. Amazon did it. I'm sure a handful of other companies have tried releasing their own phone. It's very difficult to release a phone in a market dominated by Samsung and Apple. They make really good products, so it's hard to compete. They can also afford to lose a little bit of money when they're selling the phones because they've got so many back-end projects. But Solana's making a stab at it. It's called the Solana Saga. I believe it comes out the first of next year. Here's all the specs: 512 gigabytes of storage, 12 gigabytes of RAM, and whatever the Qualcomm Snapdragon. All I know is these numbers right here is about 15 times better than my first laptop that I ever owned. It's coming out in a phone. So it sounds like it's got the right hardware with it. It's going to be over $1,000, which again, when you're buying a phone like this, it's not from an AT&T or a Cricket or something like, the odds are you're not going to get your entry deal on it. You're going to have to pony up $1,000. They are taking pre-orders right now. I think you can reserve one for $100, but first of 2023 is when they come out. It's got basically built-in wallets for all your crypto. It's got a feature similar to Apple Pay, but it'll hook up to your crypto wallets, so you'll be able to pay for stuff in real world. It'll convert it to USD, charge it. It'll make it easier to do stuff like that you would do with Apple Pay with crypto. So very interesting. Like Ryan and I always talk about, just because the coin market is going down for a lot of these projects does not mean the technology is slowing down at all. In fact, usually this is when they can work uninterrupted by hype and news and interviews. They can just work. And right now, Solana has a big project with the Saga coming up. Kind of interested in that because I'll be coming back and looking for a new phone. So maybe if they get it out quick enough.
Yeah.
Another company that is integrating more Web3 stuff, Shopify, definitely a Web 2. I know we've talked about it before, where they're trying to integrate crypto payments. I know we've talked about that on the news before, which is cool, but that's just a matter of working through a processor that allows sellers on Shopify to accept it. But Shopify itself is getting into the NFT market, where you'll be able to, one, not only create your own NFTs and actually mint them through Shopify, but you'll also be able to gate certain parts of your store for people who own your NFTs, which is really cool. I mean, that's one of the things Ryan and I keep talking about, is one of the benefits of NFTs is creating your community. So if you had, let's just say, a YouTube channel and you gave out 1,000 free NFTs, and then you had a merch site on Shopify, you could have one site that had regular priced, gear and merchandise. And then you can have another spot where if you had the NFT, you could get into that gated area of the website and get the member price. You could, it could either be discounts or special edition merchandise. There's a lot of cool stuff you can do when you can start gating off areas of the internet and only allowing people who have the NFTs that you release to be allowed in. You can do a limited run, like a real limited run, couple hundred, or you could do a big run depending on how big your audience is, but you get to decide what your community is allowed to do. And the way Gary Vee does it, when he minted his NFTs, he made it to where even when they change hands privately, he gets a small piece of that. So if you did a 100 unit NFT, release, you could have it set up to where every time those sold on OpenSea, you would get paid again, rather than selling a membership card that you got paid for one time and then got sold around on the secondary market several times. The possibilities. Go ahead.
Yeah, as a comparison, and I may have these numbers slightly off, but like his initial VFriends project, I think made around $100 million at its mint at its sale, but it had made like 250 additional $1 million in secondary sales within 30 or 90 days or something.
Right. And the beauty of the NFT, and I feel like we're going to start repeating ourselves on a lot of this stuff, but the beauty of an NFT is it's not even like a classic car or a collectible where every time you sell it, it loses, maybe it gets dinged or dented or this or that, or it gets older and just starts wearing down, like art where it needs to be restored or protected. But an NFT is 100% its whole life. So he's made 100 million on the initial sale, 250 million on sales since then. How much will he make over the course of the rest of his life with those original NFTs? It's like having a digital Mona Lisa. Well, that painting's been around for 600 years, 700 years. If every time it switched hands, or every time a collector bought it, or every time it, moved museums, or even when somebody paid to go into the museum to see it, if you could collect a little bit of revenue from it, the power of NFTs is ridiculous. All of these companies know it. Companies like Shopify are trying to get into it. I really like that. And, obviously you can't just do it with one or two wallets. They've got a whole list here of all the different wallets. I mean, all the regulars, Coinbase, MetaMask, all the wallets you would normally use. They've got it set up. I think that's pretty awesome, especially for something like Shopify. You'd think that would be somebody new would come in with that, but to have somebody from classic Web 2 and already having online marketing and online sales set up to be able to jump in with these NFTs. Very cool. Speaking of old people jumping in to NFTs, have you seen this, Ryan, about Bill Murray?
No.
He is making Ethereum NFTs about his life. I believe there's about 1,000 of them. And basically, he's minting stories, jokes, experiences from his life. Everybody knows Bill Murray. Everybody knows he's been around since before the internet, but he has been all over the internet since he got there. He's partnered up with The Chive, which is the website that didn't make him famous, but definitely capitalized on his fame. And he's got all of these stories. I know you've heard some about him eating somebody's French fries in the restaurant or jumping behind bars, at random pubs, and he'll just act as a bartender. When you're Bill Murray, you can do that kind of stuff. And he's basically told these stories. He has an artist that is minting all of these NFTs, and each one of these NFTs comes with a little story about Bill Murray's life. And it's through both the Chive website is partnering with it. And then I think it's called Project Vinkman, which is Bill Murray's kid, who's got a little Web3 project going. So they've got 1,000 NFTs coming out. I think it cuts July 14th, mid-July is when they're going to have it. And Bill Murray, here's an example of one right here that it's just some classic Bill Murray art. And then it just tells a little story. This one was about him and John Belushi. And I just think that's so crazy because Bill Murray has a very interesting life. And I don't know how many people could digitize or make an NFT out of just individual little stories about their life. But I believe Bill Murray is one who can, and they're going to take a stab at it. So this is kind of it's not new, but it's definitely a major personality outside the Web3 space, dipping into a major project inside the Web3 space. So probably closer to July, middle of July, we'll have more to report on this when they do the first sale. So
I absolutely love these types of projects for many reasons, but this is one of those projects where like you have people that are like, I've heard about these NFTs. I'm definitely not interested. And then there's like, oh, is it Bill Murray NFT? Oh, I really like, what's this about? Like Bill Murray's on this NFT gig. Oh, and oh man. Yeah. It fits his personality. This is one of those bridges
Absolutely. And one of the cool parts is, it reaches such a wide variety. A lot of people know, oh, he was in the last Ghostbusters, which came out, last year, but he was also in the original Ghostbusters, which came out in the middle of the 80s. Well, he was also in Saturday Night Live, which came out in the 70s, so the amount of people that are aware of Bill Murray that, have fond memories of him or would be interested in having a Bill Murray collectible. It's a wide range of people, and it is weird because somebody normally from that was popular in the 70s wouldn't be popular with today's Web3 audience, but Bill Murray is one of those guys that can make that bridge, and we're going to find out exactly how successful he is, even in a down market. If we're still in a down market in 2 weeks, but it'll be interesting to see that. So that's what we got on the news for today. Like I said at the beginning, here's some of the metaverse projects that are going on. Everything's kind of down. Not as down as it was last week, because like I said, we did have that hump here in the middle of the week, but very affordable prices on projects like Decentraland and ApeCoin, which are both down over or around 6%. So, and we will talk about it afterwards, but the project we're looking at today also has a deflationary token that I will be investing in at the end of the episode.
Yeah, very, very interested to hear more about that for sure. The token, and I'm really interested to hear your gaming side of it. Let's jump into this project. A lot of things I like about this project. Like normal, it's almost like they start a little slow, but the more I dig, the more I'm interested. But as I mentioned, they are, here it is right here on one of their pages. They're shooting to be the Nintendo of Web3. They're starting with this game that's Smash Brother like, which is with the cross intellectual property, the cross IP that Ben was explaining earlier. And if you've been involved with Web3 or even digital type of, movies or games and stuff like that, you understand just how huge having a cross IP or doing a Smash Brother type game is. Like, that interoperability that we keep bringing up is by far the way of the future. These projects are going to merge more and more together, kind of like Spotify and going into the NFT market, breaking it. These projects are blending together, and they're adding immediate strength by doing that, and also recognition.
Yeah. And one of the big things with Web3 is everybody kind of finds their community, whether it's Bored Ape or, the chimps or whatever NFT project you've got. And people hate, not everybody, but most people, a lot of people, I hate switching it every time something new comes out. And it's like, if I decide to spend $100,000 on a Bored Ape, I don't want to change it next week when we got a happy tiger or a sad shark. You know what I mean? It's like, I've got the Bored Ape. But if you could take that Bored Ape and go play the newest, coolest game, your community can stay up to, that's the best part about Web3. You're not getting really good at Halo 2, then Call of Duty comes out, and you got to decide whether you stick around and play this with the people who are old and won't go to the new game, or whether or not, if you could take your character from Halo 2 that you've been training, go throw them into this new game that everybody else is playing. That's what gives Web3 the decentralized. You're not doing it for a company. You're doing it for yourself. You're building your own assets that you can take in and out of different metaverse projects and play with them. So if you spend $100,000 on BAYC, and then you're just waiting for the next newest game because you've already got your character in games like this that you can go pop them in and go fight people from other NFT projects. That's one of the best parts about the whole industry.
Yeah, it can't be understated, and we brought it up numerous times. But yeah, BAYC is the obvious project combination here to talk about, because their name, they're basically known across Web3, and really it's blending quickly into people that aren't even aware of Web3 that are still in Web2 and so forth. But yeah, you spend this ton of money on owning a BAYC, and you're part of that community. Their metaverse, the other side, which we've covered in earlier episodes, is coming out, but it's years away. Here's an opportunity to take your NFT, your JPEG, and it comes to life within an actual game. Like that is huge. Like that's more opportunities for you as the owner, the community, like you're saying, to get in and mix it up and have fun with that. And they've done, I'm gonna cover multiple things within this project that I really like, but one of the biggest things that is, I think, could easily be overlooked is it's simplistic. Like it's fairly low budget. It's a simplistic game. It's very attractive for either gamers who are so-called gamers, or people like me that maybe is not a gamer. Matter of fact, I don't own a BAYC, but I own one of the projects that's in here. I own numerous NFTs within the Deadheads project. So to be able, and that's another community that has full IP rights and is doing crazy cool stuff with their NFTs, creating comics, creating merchandise. Some of them are even signing sponsorship deals with their NFTs and just creating these incomes based around their NFTs. And here is a simplistic game that you can bring your NFTs in and run with. But also, Galaxy Fight Club has their own Genesis collection of 10,000 NFTs that if you own one of them, there's some real benefits to owning one of their NFTs. And another cool aspect to this is the rarity of your NFT. If it's, the rarer it is, the better performance it has within this game. But they've done it in a way that if, I have a less rare NFT, I can still be ultra competitive with the very rare NFTs through weapons and through upgrades and through things like that. So again, it's a simplistic idea, but it's super functional. It's attractive to, gamers and non-gamers, and then especially to these communities. And that gets cited a lot as I go through this. And part of that is they've just made some very strong partnerships from the very beginning. They've got Amamoka brands. They brought some super experienced advisors onto their board, coming from such companies as Riot Games, Ubisoft, Capcom, Microsoft, High Street. Like they've got some high caliber. Oops. Let me share that screen with you. They've got some high caliber talent that's come from other projects that's coming in and advising them. Here we go. And these guys know what they're doing. And it's kind of interesting as I was reading over some of their experiences and what they're involved with, but there's becoming so many different people that are so good at these different areas of Web3, it's almost becoming hard to keep up with who's the best of the best. Anyways, so they're partnering with these awesome projects. They're partnering with these kick-ass advisors to come in and advise them, but yet they're keeping it very simplistic. They're moving fast, and they're highly organized compared to some of these other projects we've looked at. I'm gonna show some of their Medium articles and their dev blog postings, and it's the format of even their blog posts are very consistent, which if you're looking at businesses, that's very attractive to me. If you're consistent on your blog posts, you're probably consistent within your projects also, in developing and such. Your budgeting, all those things fall into line.
Yeah, because think about the projects like Star Atlas that are kind of like, I think we're also going to be able to do this. And we're also going to try to add this feature. And it's like they're 2 years out from the game even starting, and they keep adding on, they keep switching, and they're not very concise with their up-to-dates and their blog posts and their Ask Me Anythings. That kind of happens sporadically, but it's because they're trying to create just an absolute enormous, huge deal that every time they think of another good idea, they just go ahead and throw it on there. And the difference between that kind of a project and this kind of project, the whole benefit of this type of project is it is simple, is it's very easy. You have your very specific items that you bring in are created from someone else. They're trying to be the Nintendo, not the specific game, but the console where everything get created outside of it and you can just plug it into the Nintendo and play. So by keeping it simple, by doing just what they need to do, they can get the game out quick, they can update it fast, they can fix any problems that they have, and keep it where people want it. Not, by the time Star Atlas gets done and gets that game ready to go, who knows what the temperament of the entire, are we going to be on to Jack Dorsey's Web 5 by then? Or are space games going to be played out and nobody cares about Star Wars because Disney beat it to death? It doesn't matter. They've already gone so far that direction. There's no turning back. But with a game like this, keep it simple, keep it playable. That's the kind of stuff that you want, especially in a project for immediate return.
Yeah. And a massive part of keeping things simple is you can get onto mobile very quickly. And, you listen to any of the experts for a long time, they tell you the faster you can get to mobile's where it's at. Forget the PC, forget all these other things. They start there because these games are so complicated. It's very hard to get to mobile, but the ultimate goal is to get to mobile today. And these guys have done that. They're rolling out on mobile.
Because the amount of people that have a video game capable desktop computer is so small compared to the people that have a $1,000 phone that can run a top tier game. Everybody has one of those. Everybody always has it with them. Nobody carries around their Xbox to everything that they do, but everybody has that phone. If you can sit in a waiting room for 5 minutes and bust out a play to earn game, the value of that compared to the biggest, best, most advanced game that you have to have a $3,000 desktop computer to play, you can have a better game, but as far as money, returns, and business, mobile is the key.
Yeah. It's without a doubt. The experts all say it. It's where you've got to be is on mobile. So speaking of partnering collections, I've got this quick video here that they go into it a little bit, and we're going to take a look at it.
Cool.
This, in my opinion, is what makes Galaxy Fight Club a great project. So to the white paper, Galaxy Fight Club's mission is to break down the silos between different NFT projects in the space. As part of this mission, Galaxy Fight Club has already established a number of partners with leading tier 1 NFT native projects like Cyberkongs, Biopills, as well as GameFi projects like Illuvium. Galaxy Fight Club provides or adds long-term utility to these projects by giving them access to our platform, while they help to make it easy for us to turn our vision of creating a super Smash Bros for the NFT universe into reality. Right now, there are only a handful of partnering collection fighters in game, with more being added along the way. So again, keep an eye on the Galaxy Fight Club Discord server for future updates. If you own any of these partnering collection fighters, you'll be able to use them in game to earn partnering keys, which will allow you to earn tokens or rewards from that particular project. Now, if your partnering collection does not.
So he's getting into talking about some of the partnering. Again, how it makes total sense for the Galaxy Fight Club. It also provides additional exposure for these other projects at like what it sounds like almost minimal to no cost, not a lot of effort, and they can just jump on there and get additional exposure. Now, if you're BAYC, maybe that, and who knows if that even matters, but they were one of the first ones to get on. So there's something.
But if you're Fluff World and you're still working on your game and your type of stuff, I mean, it wasn't that long ago that we had no idea Fluff World existed. But if you buy one of the NFTs and you're waiting for the project, and there's game types like this that you can go be active with them, give you a reason to do it. One, if you're playing somebody, if you're in one of those games with your BAYC and you're getting beat up by a artificially intelligent rabbit, then you're like, what in the heck is that? I got to look into getting me one of those. You know what I mean? It's advertising for all of these projects when you can just throw them all into this arena and let them fight each other. So,
yeah. It's just a simplistic, awesome idea. They're not reinventing the wheel. And it's just super smart. I'm not going to get into tokenomics because that's your gig, but I just wanted to point out that their setup, and again, you're going to get into it, but their setup of how you can get paid within this project. There's multiple different avenue sources that all run through their tokenomics G coin, but there's also opportunities to battle and make ETH also. So in their split, their way of paying out is very attractive as far as I'm concerned. And they've also made it very clear that, and we're starting to hear more and more of this. We're really excited, you and I, Ben, about the play to earn gaming, but a lot of these projects are saying, yes, you can earn, but don't let that be the focus. Like the focus is it's a really cool, fun game, and you can make some money at it too. And so they've repeated that over and over again. And part of that is because they're trying to attract traditional gamers, because a lot of traditional gamers do not like the play to earn strategy or crypto or whatever. We've hit on that before at this point. Now, you and I think that's a foregone conclusion. As if the games are good, why wouldn't you play a game that you can make money and own NFTs within? But we got to kind of get there slowly a little bit. We're bridging that gap. Part of the way they're doing that is by offering different ways of getting paid. And ETH, Gcoin, you can get paid in actual battle competitions and make ETH there. They're running those on a weekly or bi-weekly situation. You can also create what's called Genesis 2 fighters, and you have to own a Genesis 1 and combine them. Basically, you got to burn some weapons and some things there, but you can make money by doing that. They have an option to rent out your NFTs. So again, if you've got a competitive NFT that's built up, you could lease them out. They've got guilds. Your biggest guilds are getting involved with this game also. They're wanting assets within it. And so there's multiple income sources and ways to earn money within the game, which to me, it's another one of those that's a no-brainer. The more income sources you can have, the better the project's going to probably be. But there's a lot of these projects that only have a single income source, and that's fine. But when you compare, like we're comparing projects to other projects that have 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways that you can cash in while playing this game, that's very attractive to me from a investment standpoint. I've got let me switch over screens here again. I've got a cool little clip of an actual battle royale, one of their competitions they've got going on. This game is not fully out. They're still running, and again, that's your area expertise, so I won't say much there, but they are running these qualifier competitions and to get a little exposure. And these guys are, again, they're getting paid in ETH when they win these competitions. So let's watch a little clip here.
Yeah. You have to just deal the damage like one off, and you can see, Finn gets locked in Ares, and that's what we call a stun and lock kill. And you can see it happen right there, coming from Zen, and that's like getting 3-1, and they have to be pulling back quite a bit because again, you have to do the bait and switch just to make sure that it's going to happen, like even bait into the location of Finn right there. And Finn, oh wow, they're setting up. You can see the setup right there, Guru. This is going to be such a treat to see. Oh man, that's too aggressive. They're pulling back right now, Guru. It's going to be, I'm seeing right now the way of Zen is really in line with their play right there, and they may get this win.
Two weak men. Here we go. 2 for 1. Oh, take him out. Oh my gosh, Mihawk saves the day.
Oh wow, amazing.
5-3. So we've seen Finn use these gloves, use the stun, and use that melee They've got
So
3
they've
kills
got
off.
these guys talking are the actual announcers for this qualification tournament. And when I see things like this, I immediately picture the arenas within Illuvium, battles like this, similar to this, going down within these different arenas, these esports, things that are going on, commentators, really bring it brings gaming to life, I think, is the way that I see it. And so if you've got something that's simplistic, something that's fun, people are interested in it, you've got a ton of different opportunities here. Let me bring up this next slide here. Jumping right into, and I just want to show this, and then I'm pretty much done with my part, but I hit on it. Here's like their most recent dev blog. These blogs are extensive. Some of these projects, they're pretty short and sweet. There's not a whole lot to them, and it's okay. That's not a bad thing at all. But these guys are disclosing so much information on what's going on with this project that they're getting really close to releasing. And they just keep adding, like they're adding more and more of these Genesis weapons, which are, you could have a flamethrower or you might just be chucking bananas. Like it's a huge range of these different weapons. They have different ratings. I'm sure you'll kind of get into that. But I just mainly wanted to show this dev blog, the most recent one. I mean, look how extensive it is. And the order that they're covering this is very, very consistent, which I had mentioned is like, that's super important to me, similar to going and I like to compare it to buying a used car. You may show up and the used car runs great. It's all clean and everything. And then you look in the interior and it's got stains and rips and tears and stuff. If they weren't taking care of the interior, they're probably not taking care of the rest of the vehicle. If you're not consistent in your information and your goals and what you're after as a project on the front end, then that makes me a little bit concerned in the back end. It's not a deal killer, but these dev blogs that Galaxy Fight Club, GFC, is putting out, they have these working towards play to earn section, and they have these 9 tasks, 1 through 9. They're the same tasks, and they update them about every 2 weeks is when this dev blog comes out. And so they're saying, hey, these are the 9 major tasks that we're headed towards with the play to earn structure. Here is where we are at on all 9 of these. So you don't get an update and then a month later or 2 months later or 3 months later, they come back and say, okay, remember that thing? We finally got it done. Or we told you we'd implement it by today. We're not going to make it. You're getting constant updates from these guys. And I really, really like the structure of that. They've also got the community involved. There, again, so many different things, which is why I'm going to have to shut up here. But you've got Vayner Sports, AJ Vaynerchuk is involved in this project. And that's another major name, obviously. They were just at NYC, NFT NYC. They rented a yacht, threw a big ass party on the yacht. Not a lot of footage of that, so it was probably a pretty good party.
Right. The more videos you see of a yacht party, the less good that party was.
Right,
for
exactly.
Sure.
Even in this day and age with cell phones, there's stuff out there floating around. Right. Just again, some of their partnerships that they had even at NYC, NFT NYC, just doing some great stuff within this project. I'm very excited to hear what you've got on the token and gaming side. And I'm excited to see where this project goes from here. So without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to you.
All right. I've just got some pictures from their website, but their beta launched mid-April, towards the end of April. So it's only been going for a couple of months, and they're working out all the bugs in the game. One of the things, like Ryan has kept saying, this is basically the Nintendo of the Web3, so you got to think about it like they're going to have a lot of different types of gameplay. I mean, they've talked from everything from these first-person shooters to strategy style games, capture the flag, and they've got a ton of different ways to earn points, to earn money, and earn Gcoin or ETH, depending on how big the investment is. I think it was the big matches that you could earn ETH in, and all these little ones while you're going around. You can find tokens, you can find items that you can trade for tokens, you can generate some of the weapons. If you mint your own avatar from their website, some of them come with rare abilities, rare capabilities, and they're able to find and earn more tokens. I know they airdropped a bunch of tokens to everybody who had one of the first generation ones. I actually, off the top of my head right now, I'm not sure whether or not, have they gone through all 10,000 of them yet? Are you familiar?
I did not look that up. I did look it up on OpenSea and see what they were going on there. I'll check now to see about the mint.
Okay, you can get on OpenSea the second hand already. The lowest price ones are, with the price of ETH right now, about $188, between 180 and $200 to get one of these avatars, and they've all got different capabilities. It's just like any other one. You can get some of the basic ones, or you can get some that are super rare, depending on what type of game you're playing. Some abilities are more desirable than others, but all of them, it's not like if you find a guy who's really good, that's just it, you're going to win, because you'll be able to, with Gcoin, get better weapons, get better abilities. So you might luck out if you mint one for a couple $100 and come with all the stuff you want. But if somebody wants to, they can get very competitive with you by upgrading through the marketplace, by doing the missions, earning new stuff, getting new coins, getting new weapons. So they're trying to keep it a level playing field where you've got the benefit if you mint a rare one, but you can catch right up if you spend more money, which the only way a play to earn game works is if somebody is paying. If you're paying to get in, that's what that money is what gets used in the economy. And so what they use, I know Ryan's mentioned it. I'll talk more about it here after gameplay, but the coin they use is the Gcoin, which is just the Galaxy Fight Club coin. So they use that in their whole network. You got to have that. That's what buys your weapons. That's what buys your entry into some of the tournaments. And that's what you win in most of these projects. Like I said, the big fights, the big battles, you can win Ethereum, but most of the gameplay is rewarded with Gcoin. Here are some of the avatars that you can get in OpenSea. So you can see the similarities to a lot of these NFT projects, but it's a very simple setup. But the beauty of this is you don't need one of their NFTs to play, and you don't need to pay to play. If you have a BAYC or any of the other NFT projects, they have a free play where you can actually bring your item in. You can still earn coins. You can go around. You can do it's not really an open world yet, but they have ability to find coins, find stuff that is valuable in the game with your NFT from any project.
Now, did they say, didn't I read that they have their own Genesis NFTs that you can use for free too or something? Do you remember, or did I misread that maybe?
I read that there was a way to get in and play it for free, but I thought the way I read that was if you had an NFT to come in and play, but I could be wrong.
Okay. Yeah.
If I find that, I'll put that link in the description below if I find the specific answer to that question. But like Ryan was saying, there are several ways to win and earn money in this game. We saw the gameplay earlier. Obviously, winning is going to win you tokens, battling, stuff like that. But you are also able to generate some of these new weapons. You're able to find the pieces of this stuff, put it together, and then you can either use that to win more battles, or you can sell that secondhand on OpenSea or any other marketplace. But they have keys hidden in some of these levels that open loot boxes. It's just I always compare this type of game to playing Halo or Call of Duty. But as you're going around enjoying the game and shooting people, and you go hide behind a box, well, you might find a key to a loot box. It's like you want a game that's playable and enjoyable. And then along with that, if you find something in there that's like, oh, hey, this is a super rare crossbow that you can go take and sell on OpenSea. I mean, you just can't beat that for gameplay, because I waste a lot of time playing games, but I play the games because they're enjoyable. If there was a way where when I'm running around in PUBG, if you go into a building and you could find, 20 G coins, I would play it even more, because right now I know every minute that I play PUBG, I'm just wasting time and effort on something I could be doing to make money. So if I knew that there was a chance that you could find anything, I would play it more. And if there was a chance that I could earn a lot, then I would play it aggressively. So I love the fact that they're making a game that is playable and then adding the play to earn into it kind of as a second hand factor, not an actual come play this game because you might earn 3 G coins, which aren't worth much right now.
Yeah, that just I'm not even a gamer, and when I played video games and you're running around and you find a surprise box or a weapon, or like you're saying, especially if it's something super rare or whatever, that I haven't played games in years, but I can distinctly remember the feeling of finding something awesome within a game gives you, especially because I suck. So if I get something awesome, like that's going to take me up a level there, which I desperately need.
Yeah, or if another one I play a lot of is PUBG. If you find the 8x scope for your sniper rifle, but you're not really a sniper rifle type of person, that's still a rare scope. So it's like, well, I really like the up close and personal guns. So you can go on the market and sell your scope and buy more ammo or a more powerful shotgun, something along those lines. So you can actually make it your mission to go out and find all this rare stuff and either sell it for money that you'll take off the market and turn into your own crypto, or turn it into an aspect of the game that you do enjoy, like a more powerful gun or better defense or a new skin. So that is one of the goals, and I think they're going to achieve it on this. And one of the game type of this is more conducive. I know the way we're talking about this, I'm trying to introduce the game to everybody, but I always think about it from my own personal sense. And games like Axie and other games that kind of have the Pokemon card game feel to it is not my favorite game type. The type of game that I like is the type of game that Ryan was showing us, where they're running around, battling, shooting. You're actually in there shooting. It kind of has a dated, old arcade game style feel to it, but I like that more than I like the Pokemon style. Oh, my 2 wizard points kills your 3 Heidi points, stuff like that. I like getting in there and playing. And you can see just from that little clip, there is a little bit of strategy that you can do. You can do some flanking. You can do some obviously weapons that shoot a little bit further. You can have better defenses. You can use your teammates. So I really like the gameplay on this, and I think that it would be enjoyable to get into. They are still in the beta right now, and I did not see a date for when the full project is coming out, but I know that you could be earning points and earning. Do you have the date?
I saw that it was supposed to roll out in July, but they made the comment that they were going to push that back because of the depressed market, and which totally makes sense the way they were saying it.
Yeah, and it just sounded very open-ended to me, because not that they're necessarily missing marks, it's that they don't want to. They had kind of an idea of where they wanted to get it out, but yeah, with everything going on, it's just kind of up in the air. So they've got this beta project.
I'm
Go ahead.
sorry.
No, you're
From
all
what I
right.
read, it specifically said we are ready. Like we have everything. Basically, we have everything in place to make that July launch date. But this depressed market and people not buying, they think it's in the best interest of waiting a little bit.
Yeah.
I did before I did. It does appear that the Mint it does appear they've sold all the avatars from the Mint. I'm not finding anything on there. So you have to go on OpenSea or looks rare to get it. But they are getting ready to mint some of the new weapons that they're rolling out. It looks like so there are minting opportunities, just
Gotcha.
not the avatars.
Yeah, the avatars are available on the OpenSea marketplace or the other one. So, and that was a 10,000 run, wasn't it?
That's correct. Yeah, it's 10,000 of them. There, it was a little less than 10,000 that you could get minted because they held some back, just like all these projects do. But it was a $10,000 project.
That's awesome.
10,000 NFT project.
We knew what you meant. And that's cool because that gives you an idea. This is one of the projects, like I said, when Ryan brought this up to me, I thought, yeah, I'm in. Let me go look up and see what the heck Galaxy Fight Club is. But when they can sell out from NFT projects like that, where they've already got them on the secondhand market, where there's already people in there playing, they've already got the videos on YouTube. I mean, you can go check this stuff out. Just because we're not familiar with it or you're not familiar with it does not mean the world is not moving on. And I'm interested. I'm thinking about making a video when they do announce the full version of this game coming out. I'm just going to release it and it's going to say the down market is over. Galaxy Fight Club has spoken. Now, because if that's what they're waiting for is for the market to turn around, we'll know that's the final signal. When Galaxy Fight Club full version is released for mobile, we'll know that was your last chance to buy cheap crypto because the whole market's turning around.
Gaming leading the way like always.
That is accurate. I'm sure there's more on gaming. If I think of it, I'll talk about it. There's just so much to already without the full version out. There is a ton out there. There's gameplay videos on YouTube that you can check out, like what Ryan was. That one went on for another few minutes. You can see that kind of stuff. You can see some of the projects and the games that they've got going on. But one of the best parts of every project, as far as I'm concerned, is the tokenomics. The tokenomics of a project like this, they've got a very small market cap right now. It's at around 900. No, that can't be right. 900,000. Let me bring up the coin market cap.
150 was the supply. I don't know.
150 million, right?
150 million.
150 million. Yeah, market cap is less than $1 million right now, which means that it can't go much lower. I don't want to say that because it obviously can always go much lower, but the current price of the coin is 6 cents, just barely over 6 cents. It's down. It's done nothing but go down over the course of its life, which is a small course because I think it was just released, this year in January. And at the prime of its height, it was at $2.13 a coin. Now it's at 6 cents a coin. So when they released it, when they're doing all this stuff, this is why they don't want to release it right here, because January was really the end. It was already over. November of 2021 was the height of all the other coins that we've looked at, all the other crypto projects. That was when everything was at its max and it started trickling off. So this game came out, the coin was released. The beta came out right about here in April. So that explains this bump right here. And we're back down. This is why they don't want to release it right now, is because market attention is at an all-time low. Once stuff starts to turn around, once people are back into it, once the economy is not teetering on the edge of complete destruction, then people will be more likely to be buying avatars, be buying weapons, be getting in and playing this kind of stuff. So it's great to see that the technology is there, that the game is ready. They've got some beta projects. They've got some people that they're actually bringing in and letting to do this so they can put out these videos on YouTube so you can see what's capable. We're just kind of waiting for them to pull the trigger and let us in. Obviously, it doesn't take a mathematician or an economics professor to know that if all it does is go back up to the released price when it first came out, before the game was out, it made it up to $2.13. So you're talking 20, 40x just to get back to where it was. And once the game is out and people are actually buying it, spinning it, it's deflationary. So tokens are getting burned when you're minting and making these weapons, when you're bringing in new avatars, when you're doing the second generation avatars. I felt like there was a couple different ways that they talked about where the coins would be getting burned. But basically, we're at a $900,000 market cap right now. Only 150 million tokens total, which means, without giving you financial advice, this is one of those games that really won't have to do very good to go up multiple times at a $900,000 market cap. You're looking at Decentraland. Back when we were doing those episodes, those projects were around 4 billion. So you're talking, I don't want to say 100x because I hate making predictions like that, but I'm going to be buying it like it's going to go up 100x. That's my goal, which is only $6, which is barely 3 times what it was when it first came out. And that's no game, no content, no nothing. And at the end of a bull run. So
one of the things that I saw with this project, 2 things real quick. They had valued the token at 50 cents when it began. So that's, you don't see a lot of times where they value them at all, but let alone that high. That's huge. But one of the other cool things about this project, and you hinted to it earlier, you might even said it, 40% of the token supply is being dropped to Genesis NFT owners. 40% of the token supply. Like that's a massive amount of tokens going to the owners of the Genesis NFT. So, you can take it from there, but that's
right.
That's
and that is massive. That's one, inspires you to get the NFT, to go ahead and get it if you're going to be playing this game. And 2, that's because when you have the NFT or when you have any other, you're going to need those G coins. It's basically the electric shock to start the whole economy, because they want people to get in there and start spending them. Because if you're not spending them, the whole project is not going to go anywhere. So they're really juicing the market by giving everybody with an NFT a certain amount. They're just going to airdrop it in, and then you'll be able to go and you'll be able to get the skins that you want. You'll be able to get the weapons that you want. You'll be able to just start buying rather than buying the NFT and then decide how much more you want to invest in the game. They're basically going to give you your startup cash, and you're going to be able to just jump right in and start playing, which is a bold marketing move, but a good marketing. I love these projects that are putting themselves on the line. You do that, and everybody takes it and just sells it right back on the secondary market, and you're going to take a hit. But I think they've got enough confidence in the playability of the game that they're going to reward the players who have been here and who are going to make it possible for them to get a start. If you've got one of the original NFTs, one of the Genesis avatars, then they're going to hook you up. And it's just the best way to get started, because like we talk about with a lot of these projects, one, you buy this, then you buy this, then you buy this. And it's like you're hoping the game is good by the time you've invested several $100s in NFTs and pieces. And this, if you just buy the avatar, just buy the NFT, which like every other NFT just looks good in the wallet anyway, then you get in and play the game, and they're hooking you up with entry fees and money to go buy stuff in the marketplace. Just a great idea. And if you don't have one of the NFTs and you're looking to buy, they've got them on all. They've got this coin on all the swaps, Sushi Swap, all the ones that you would normally do. Also, MEXC, that exchange, which is where we get our NXTT from. That seems to be a real good exchange for these super small cap. You know, it's a major exchange, but man, they don't mess around. They'll throw anything on the board. And that's where I've been getting a lot of the projects that we've been doing from these episodes. MEXC seems to be a good one to get there. And it's one of those that are, I don't think it's in any trouble right now necessarily, but it's one where you make the swap, you get what you want, and then you get it out and put it into your own private wallet. That's what I've been doing. So.
Yeah, I think that goes without saying for sure. That is that. Take it from a guy that lost his shit.
Well,
move it
I
to
guess,
your wallet and then don't give away.
Yeah,
your
move it
passphrase.
to your wallet, but then don't tell everybody your 12-word passphrase. So
Next week, we're going to do the project Big Time, which these two kind of go hand in hand. If you're looking at Galaxy Fight Club, Big Time is one of the ones they get compared against, along with Illuvium. These three gaming projects are catching the attention of everybody. They're constantly being compared. So we've covered Illuvium, we've covered Galaxy Fight Club. We're going to get in Big Time. Here is, before I play this trailer, any final comments, Ben?
yes, I do have some final comments. This will take just a second, but everybody who's watching this kind of stuff right now, especially in this down market, I mean, this whole company has decided to delay their game, which means they are not increasing their odds of making money. Like, there is opportunity on the table for them to make some money, but they know that if they can hold off just a little bit to where the interest of the entire market turns, that's going to be better for them. That means that you're right now able to pick up these projects in the dead market. I mean, like, this isn't like, oh, we don't know why the market's dead. They don't know what's going on. It could happen at any time. Like, if you're watching these kind of videos right now, June, early July, all of these projects are dirt cheap. There will be a day where it turns around. This happens in every cycle. And most of these cycles, at the very first time, like if I bought it right now and then this coin goes to 12 cents, I sell it and I think that I'm a genius because I turned my $100 into $200. But it doesn't have to be that way. This time, for me specifically, not financial advice, me specifically, I'm investing real money, heavy money, as much money as I can in these projects, because I know 3 or 4 times since I started paying attention to crypto back in 2015, 16, I've watched prices go up and then come all the way down. And I thought, I either bought them on the way up and sold them on the way down, or bought them when they were down and sold them as soon as they came up at all, and then watched them go up another 50 times. I personally am not doing that this time. I am buying. Any of these games that I think has a 2 to 3 year lifespan that can make it at least that long, I'm buying. I've got a dollar amount that I'm putting into all of our episodes, all of our projects. When it goes up a certain amount, a certain number of X's, I'm going to sell half of it, get some money out and some profit, and I'm going to hang on to the rest of it for like the moonshot. This is the best time to buy. I guess you've got the map up, but I mean, right here is not the best time to buy. That's when everybody's excited about buying it, is right here when it's going up, percentages per day, 20%, 30%. Oh my gosh, it just keeps going up. Or it comes down this way right off of that. And they're like, well, it's just coming down a little bit, and they keep buying, and it goes all the way down. That's not the best time to buy. This is the best. I mean, it can't hardly go any lower. It's got a $900,000 market cap. You don't have to put very much money into just a few projects like this. All it has to do is, if you say, well, Galaxy Fight Club's pretty good, Illuvium's pretty good, Big Time, which is next week, is pretty good. You don't have to invest very much money into 3 of those to really cover your bases. All that needs to happen is one of those to go up 4x and you've made your money back, even if the other two go straight to zero. So there are so many good strategies. There's so many people smarter than me that are talking about this stuff on YouTube. Get on there and look up coin investment strategies. They're all over the place. I'm buying as much as possible right now. And the longer the market, that's why every time I show the coin market cap, if it's just red, I'm like, oh, another good day in the market, because you can afford to buy all this stuff. There was a time where I was buying Ethereum for $90 and I thought I was overpaying for it. You know what I mean? I thought I've already missed the run. And it's happened multiple times. I remember buying Bitcoin for 11,000 because I missed it at 4,000, and then buying more when it was at 40,000. You know what I mean? And praying that I could have had some $11,000, which, if you listen to some people on YouTube, that's might not be too far off in the next couple months. But the point is, find some projects you like, whether it's ones we talk about, or if you've got one that we haven't talked about. One, invest in that project, and two, comment on one of these videos and let us know what's a good project. We're researching and investing in as many of these projects as we can get our hands on, because eventually this market will turn around. Eventually, the Amazons, the PayPals, the top tier will come out. All you have to do is guess right with an appropriate investment on one of those. If you invest in 10 projects and one of them goes to 11x, you've made your money back, and it's like, if one of those goes 1,000x, you're good. So find one that you like, find one that you want to play, find one that you want to get into. If you like it, there's a good chance a lot of people like it, or there's more people. The nature of these is you're not investing in an American company or a regional company. These games are worldwide. If it's something you like, if it's something that you can see playing, then there's kids in China, there's kids in India, there's people in Australia, there's people all over the world. This is not, there is no precedent really limited for this. It's not limited. It's not limited. There's 8 billion people on the world that everybody keeps talking about how you don't have a choice. Web3 is coming. All these games are going this direction. This is the time to be seriously considering investing in some of these projects. I mean, you can wait to see who the winner is, but by the time this project goes back up to, over $2, then if it goes to $10, you've only 5x your money. If it's going to go to $10, buying it right down here at 6 cents, that's the time to do it. You know what I mean? So I just get worked up when I start talking about tokenomics, because I love it, because it allows you, I don't have to buy the avatars. I don't have to go and spend 0.2 ETH to get one of the players. It's like, but I'm very interested in this game, and that looks like a game that I might enjoy. So for a couple $100, you can get a lot of meat, a lot of skin in the game. And if this does, it's a 900,000. I know I'm just repeating myself now. I can't stop. Ryan,
I think this game, I think this project warrants it. And what I took away from that is the same thing we always say. We're doing this channel to look into these projects for our own self, follow along, find, like you just said, find the projects that you're most interested in or pique your interest, dive into them, see what you find, and either move forward with that project or pick another, or, go where you want from here. That's basically what we're doing. Unfortunately, the market is, fortunately or unfortunately, the market's so far down. There isn't enough money to go around for the amount of these projects that look like they could really do something.
Yeah.
But it's a cheap buy-in.
Galaxy Fight Club is a great one to go do some extra research. You can stay on their website for over an hour just reading. They do a very good job of updating their information on the stuff. They've got a whole blog going on. They go in deeper into their tokenomics. They go into how the game got started, where they see it going. There's a lot you can read about on any of these projects, Galaxy Fight Club especially, and It is a long shot. It is a $900,000 market cap. You have nowhere to go but up. All right, big time next week.
Big time next week. Here's the trailer.